Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? A gracious good morning to you good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do? You know why I do it. It's Tuesday, July 30th, and it's 3:12 in the a.m. And I am reading just for today. And for those of you who don't know, I'm reading just for today because I work as a substance abuse counselor. And I read just for today, daily reflections, every day. And I read these readings to get grounded for my day and the work that I have to do. And I don't want to lose focus. That being said, today's reading is about the fourth step. And for those of you who don't know the 12 steps, the fourth step is made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Now, the principle behind this step is the courage to look at you and the courage to answer that question, how do I show up? And I'm going to say, look at God, because I had not read this reading until I started recording. Look at God, talking about how you show up in the opening video, and here we are talking about running an inventory. Now, other people will happily run your inventory when you mess up. You did this, you did that, you did the other, and remember back in. So, they're harboring resentments in order to really get at you, grimy. Yes, I did use those terms. To really get at you, grimy, and to, highlight how you messed up. But never really looking at how they acted in order to get the response that they're getting. It's a game of a narcissistic double dutch. Yeah, I'm having a little difficulty talking this morning. Narcissistic double dutch, if you think about it. I want to hold you accountable for some things that you did way back when that I never discussed. I'm just harboring the resentment and using that as my trump card or my domino or uno so I can slam it down and say, aha. When I didn't look at how I presented myself in order to get the response that I'm getting. You are always going to be the blame when you're playing this game, because you failed to run your inventory. You're so busy looking at somebody else's. So this reading is entitled Regular Inventory. It says, continuing to take a personal inventory means that we form a habit of looking at ourselves, our actions, attitudes, and relationships on a regular basis. Some of us are incapable of doing that. I need to be very clear about that. And the reason that we're incapable of doing that is because we've created this facade that we're living, and for whatever reason, we've created this facade. It could be our own personal trauma. It could be generational trauma. It could be low self-esteem, low self-worth. But you presented this image to the world. And anything that you hear that takes you out of that image for a hot second, even if it's something constructive that you know you need to do, that person becomes an enemy. Did you hear me? Even if it's something that you know that you need to do, the minute that person mentions something other than your perfect image, that person is the enemy. Now, I want you to think about this, because this is the same mindset for domestic violence. The minute you take me out of how I say I am, I have to beat you back into place. It's like something coming out of alignment. All these things have to be in alignment in order for me to be. And through the wear and tear, the friction of our relationship, one thing comes out of alignment. I got to beat that thing back into place. You hear the dysfunction in that? The writer says, taking a regular inventory is a key element in our new pattern of living. In our addiction, we examine ourselves as little as possible. In our sickness, in our sin, in our need for healing, we didn't look at us. We externalized. It says, we weren't happy with how we were living our lives, but we didn't feel that we could change the way we lived. You know, imagine being miserable and staying in this misery because something outside of you is dictating, you know, how you move. You know, we had back in the day women in bad relationships because society told them, you know, you stayed no matter what was going on. You know, I fully get marriage is an institution. It's a commitment between you and another person before God. I get that. But when you marry wrong, and you marry for the wrong reasons, why do you think you're still held to that commitment? Now, I'm not giving divorce a pass. What I am saying is we need to grow up and think about how we move through life and how we involve other people in our madness. We need to run our inventory to see if we're capable of maintaining X, Y, or Z. Amen? Now, I have told people in my personal walk, I've told people, no, sweetie, you're not this. And you need to step up out of this. You know, and I get questioned as to why I'm there. And it's like, I really am this. You know, good, bad, or otherwise. This is where I am right now. But I know you don't belong here. And I'm trying to spare you. Because I know what happens here. Think about all the things you could have been spared if somebody had stepped up and told you, this is not what you want. And here's the reasons why it's not what you want. But if you go back to how we externalize, how we build up these facades, how we live these lies, you know, we need to listen for that still small voice to hear, this is not what you want. This is not where you need to be. You know, this is somebody else's lesson or experience. If you can spare somebody, please do. Love them enough to tell them the truth. Yeah, and don't keep people on the fringe, you know, like a cat with something, you know, their prey. And so that's how some of us do relationships, like a cat with their prey. You know, a cat will play with a mouse all day till they kill it. And sometimes they don't even kill it. They bat it about, slobber on it, chew on it, and then leave it half dead somewhere. Is that how you approach relationships? Now, if you do that with people, guess what your relationship to God and with God, guess what that looks like?